He's unpredictable. He's relentless. He's fearless. He's smart. He's a jerk. Oh man, what a jerk. How would you describe Kirk Minihane?
He's talented.
He's blunt.
He's complicated.
He's the fakest tough guy I know.
He's honest.
A self-proclaimed weenie.
He's angry.
He's actually a good guy. He's a psycho big mouth prick.
I wish we had more Kirk Minihanes.
How would you describe Kirk Minihane? Combustible, unpredictable, venomous, testy, obnoxious, selfish, polarizing, pompous.
Enough about me. Let's get to the show.
It's Kirk Minihane's Enough About Me.
So Matt Siegel's been doing this morning show since I was a kid. I remember my dad would drive me to school. I would listen to Lauren and Wally. My mom would drive me to school. I would listen to Matty. He's been doing it forever. He's still doing it. His ratings are still great. And he doesn't seem at all stressed by this miserable job that is slowly killing me. I wanted some answers, so I went to the man himself. So I've been doing the morning show here for about almost, not quite 3.5 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm like Lincoln in like year 7 already at this point. I'm totally fucked up. Like, I'm gone gray. I've become even more of an asshole. I have no patience. I get angry. I get irrational. I think the world is paranoia. You've been doing this in the morning now for 35 years?
Yes.
And you seem like you don't have a care in the world. Is that acting or is that reality?
Oh, that's acting.
It is?
Oh, yeah, I'm a nervous wreck.
Well, but do you... so walk me through a normal day.
Well, I can explain to you why I appear the way that I appear on the air.
Yeah.
I have 4 daughters.
Right.
Going to work is
a vacation.
It's a vacation.
Right.
Well, they're out of the house now.
Yeah.
But I always felt like that. I always felt like radio is easy, life is hard.
Yeah.
You know. But my typical day.
Well, so I get in here. So we start at the same time.
Oh,
I guess
no.
you get on a little later than I do. You get
Yes.
on about 6:15, right?
Yeah.
I get on at 6. We get in here, whatever, 5:15, 5:30. We have a million stories. We go through this. We read that. John, Jerry, and I figure out what we're going to do. Then we get in there and we start to fight with each other. Your day
I know you guys really go at each other, man.
But your day is a little different, right?
Well,
Or no, is that not
we
true?
don't need as much material. I mean, we play music, not
Right.
a lot.
How many songs an hour?
Couple.
Like,
No, wait.
What does that mean?
3.
3, and so it's like 12
3 or
minutes?
4, yeah, something like that.
And do you know these songs?
Well, when you say you got
Are these
time
songs-
to
are
do,
these songs
no,
you listen
no,
to driving
if you,
home?
No, are you kidding?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm
That's
a
what
grown
saying.
man.
Well, but it's
No, I'm not.
right.
Really, no.
So like Ariana Grande. Am I even saying the right names? Is that
That's a
Taylor
name, yeah.
Swift and
Yeah.
Adele? It's all top 40.
Yeah,
And the last time you listened to top 40 a lot was probably
never.
even as a kid.
No, literally never. No, I was a rocker.
Right.
When I started in the business, there was how old are you? You're in your 40s?
41.
Okay, so there was the FM rock, like BCN was years
Sure.
ago.
Well,
I worked at BCN.
Right, but you
Yeah.
started in Arizona at like sort of an
72.
alternative rock station, or no? Or
Well,
classic?
Yeah,
What
they
would
didn't
you,
have. That was before that term. It was you just played whatever you wanted.
Where'd you grow up? New York?
Grew up in New York.
So how'd you wind up in Arizona from New York?
When I was in college and I had a girlfriend and she moved to Arizona, I went to visit her. I went to visit the radio station. You know, it's kind of like that was how I ended up.
And what
there.
was the radio station? What was it like back then? What was so you'd go in there? Was that nights? Was it during the day?
I did nights for 2 days.
You did nights,
and then I
for
got moved up to overnight,
Right.
which doesn't exist anymore.
It's
I mean,
gone,
now.
yeah.
It's all automated or
Right.
whatever it is.
Right.
So it was overnights. I made $1.80 an hour, and then I moved up. And then I did evenings. You know, like 7 to midnight
Sure.
for like a week or two. And the morning man, I don't remember, died, left.
Right.
And I got the morning show, and I made $360 a month.
Well, money back then, right?
I was rolling, baby.
You were feeling good.
I was rolling.
And what would be a basic, if you were playing 2 or 3 songs in a row, what would you be playing back then?
Led Zeppelin,
So it was that world.
The
Yeah,
Who.
yeah. Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're out of there and you go where? You come here?
I went to Los Angeles, but not. I left radio to do production
For
work.
Warner Brothers. Is
Yeah,
that right
well,
or
I
no?
did. How do you know that?
Because I'm smart. I read stuff.
You read stuff.
I'm no dummy.
So what happened was we did. They had commercials for records back then. That doesn't exist anymore.
You mean on-air commercials for
a commercial?
records? Like
Yeah,
in-
where you'd cut it up. You know,
You're saying on the radio or TV?
radio.
So you're saying the Eagles have a new album out?
Correct.
Whatever, right.
And you'd play the cuts, and then you'd say, take it easy with the Eagles or whatever.
yeah.
Whatever. And so I did a couple of those in Tucson, and was some national guys came to town for some event. They said, these are really good. These are as good as the national ones we play. And so I literally left on a whim. I was just a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. So I left radio and I went to Los Angeles and got a job doing that.
For Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
No,
but
was that right or wrong?
I wasn't on staff at Warner Brothers.
Okay.
I was freelance. They were my
Okay.
biggest client.
Did you deal with anybody famous at that point? Or no?
Oh, yeah. Well, you did the commercials in the same studio that they made the albums.
Really?
Yeah.
So who are you dealing with?
Well, I mean, I was alone with an engineer.
Sure, no, I know, but like,
But
who's
so I did.
running around?
I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
I did a commercial for Faces, which was Rod Stewart's
Stewart.
original band.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know old
So
school.
Jeff, not
Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck was not in that group.
Was he?
No.
Yeah.
I want to say he was.
Yeah, and Rod Stewart was the lead singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like ZLX now. It still plays all that old stuff.
Sure.
Okay. So we did. So in the copy that I wrote, I read the names of all the guys in the band. Rod Stewart, and one of the guys' names was John McLaughlin. Mm-hmm. And I said to my engineer, "Is it McLaughlin or McLaughlin?" Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Damn, I don't know either."
Right.
And let's go in the next studio. George Harrison's in there, and we'll ask him. I'm going, "Excuse me?" I was like 23 years old.
Right.
George Harrison, the Beatle?
I mean, mind-blowing for you at that point, right?
So I went next door, and then he says, "Oh, geez, I don't know either." Nobody knew this poor guy's name. So he said, "Let me call Ronnie." I go, "Ronnie like Ronnie Wood?"
Ronnie Wood, yeah.
Who was the Rolling Stones,
Sure.
So that was my brush with fame.
It was kind of that world.
Days. Yeah.
And how long are you there for?
I was there for a couple years, and then I lost the gig. I don't remember why.
Right.
I mean, that's 100 years ago.
Sure, but then...
So I lost the gig, and a buddy of mine worked in Boston. Mm-hmm. And so I came to Boston to see him because now I'm out of work. Mm-hmm. So if you're out of work, why not take a trip with the last $300 to your name?
Well,
of course.
Why not?
So I came here. So, of course, me and my buddy got really stoned. And I thought, wow, I knew this guy at BCN named Stephen Clean I knew him in L.A. I'm going to call him and maybe...
Are you thinking of yourself as a radio guy at this point, or are you just
I'm thinking maybe I should go back to radio, yeah.
Okay, right.
So I call up. I said, "Stephen Clean there?" "No." And he doesn't work here anymore. And I said, "Oh, never mind. How about the program director?" And who should I say is calling? I said, "Tell him it's Matt Siegel from Warner Records." So the guy picks up and goes, "Oh, my God, I know you." And I said, "No one knows me. I'm out of work." "What do you mean you know me?" He says,
Right.
well, I was on the air when you were in Tucson, Arizona at the other station. Remember Kicks? And I go, "Yeah, of course." "Well, my girlfriend used to listen to you instead of me, and you became a running joke in my life for years, so I started following your career." I don't have a career. Anyway, long story short, he invited me to come in. I auditioned, and Charles Laquadera had left to sell cocaine in New Hampshire. True story, but that's for another day.
Well, and might be for this day.
You want me to tell you that story
Yeah,
too?
sure. Yes.
Well, I don't. Well, is this for the? Are we on the air? Where are we? It's a podcast.
You know what a podcast is, right?
Yes, kind of,
Yes.
sort of. So anyway, the story was that Charles had issues and took time off to clean up, much like your pal JD.
Yes, it
And
happens.
so he went to clean up, and then so they needed a morning man, and I got the job. And maybe 10 years later, I'm having dinner with Charles, and I'm recalling the story, and goes, "I wasn't cleaning up. I was making a fortune dealing. That's why I left radio." But anyway, so he came back, and then I went to afternoons.
So you go.
and
So let me just
blah, blah,
real
blah.
quick. So you start at BCN in
77.
Laquadera shift,
Yes,
and that is what time is that?
77.
I'm sorry. What time of day is that? What day
Same
part?
as this, 6 to 10.
So you're doing 6 to 10 there right away. Then he comes back and you move to afternoons at BCN.
Yeah, I moved to afternoons, and then they hired Mark Parento, and then I got bounced off afternoons.
Oh yeah,
Mark Parento.
Whatever happened to Mark Parento?
Child molestation.
Yes.
He did.
Were you aware?
10 years.
Did you know what was going on with him when you were working with him? I've heard stories that people were aware that. You know when you work with somebody,
I
and you
can
know.
answer.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, he was. So this is the 70s, and he was very gay, but gay was in the 70s wasn't like gay is now. You know what I mean? I mean, it was more sort of secretive.
Well, sure, the world has changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's different than being a child molester. Being gay doesn't mean you're a child molester. That's a different world.
Do you want me to tell you the story?
Yes, I want to know this story.
So, but the point was that his thing was not children, but his thing was like parties, and he was like the DJ, the cool DJ, and he would have parties, and so they were sort of, well, remember in the old days on Newbury Street in front of Tower Records and all that, those kids that would sit out front and play drums and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
That little world of I guess they were runaways, really.
Probably.
So you're talking 15, 16-year-old kids who they didn't look like children. I don't know how to say this.
Are you still friends with them?
No, I wasn't friends.
You were
with
never
them.
friends with them?
No.
Were you not surprised? So you were not surprised?
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, it was like 15, 16-year-old kids at these parties, and he got busted.
Yeah.
Went to jail.
So was it? I mean, you look back. I read the BCN book, and it seemed like it was a totally wild time, totally different than today's radio. I mean, that's completely accurate, right? Or no?
Well, back in those days, at least for me personally, we didn't make really any money, so there wasn't, there wasn't a lot of pressure, to get numbers and stuff, and that's all changed. Obviously, goes without saying. Now.
Right.
So, I don't.
Did you worry about radio?
I don't miss those days.
You don't?
No.
No.
They were doper. I mean,
Sure.
The 70s, everybody was stoned, and then the
Right.
80s, everybody's doing blow, and
Right.
now everybody's in rehab.
So we get. I don't know how it works for you. So we have our program director comes in once a week and gives us our weekly, and then tells us how we did versus 98.5 versus. I mean, you're in a different demo than we are.
We're girls, you're
right?
boys.
We're right. So they do this whole thing. Is the way it was back then was what? When would you hear about ratings? Say at BCN.
Oh, at BCN, not
did
much.
it exist?
No,
Was it quarterly? Was it? Did you have any idea that you were number one or number two or?
I could tell you for a fact I wasn't sniffing number one.
Whatever it was. Did you?
No,
know
I didn't
that-
have rating success until I went to KISS.
Yeah.
Because BCN at the time was, it was owned by one guy. I mean, it wasn't. It was owned by this one guy named Mitch Hastings,
Yeah.
and then this company bought it. Who now, many years later became CBS. But it was a small company then, and
Did you start to
this
feel
is
like
pre-Howard.
right? Did you start to feel like you were getting good at BCN? Did you start to figure it out?
Well, I got a TV gig through. I had a TV
Channel
show.
5, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you really studied my bio.
I'm no dummy. But
And
did you start to feel? Sorry, we'll get to Channel 5 in a second. But did you? And it's funny because I had Bob Ryan in here maybe a month ago. He did the same thing. He left the Globe to go to Channel 5 and then wound up going back to newspaper.
Right.
But
Right.
did you start to
love
feel like
Bob.
you were figuring out how to do radio at BCN? Like when you left BCN, did you feel like you were a good DJ or no?
It's such a different format than I work in now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really night and day.
Totally
there were
different,
no
right?
rules, and you just kind of rambled on. For
What was an
days.
average show like? What would you do?
At which day part? Like in the
Afternoon.
Yeah, it was like a rock show. You didn't really say your name, and you're kind of like,
Right.
you're talking about Peter Frampton. I mean, it seems so ridiculous.
What
now.
year did you? So you left. So you're doing BCN. You were doing 2 to 6.
I did 2 to 6, then Parento came, and then I did. Oh,
When
well,
did
this is
you
an
leave
important part of the
Go
story.
ahead, sure.
So then I went to middays. It was like my career was ending as it was starting.
Right, I was gonna
I started
say, so-
morning drive, went to afternoon drive, went to middays. I mean,
Right.
I was like failing.
Overnights was next.
Yeah,
Right.
I was going in reverse.
It sounds
but
like
that's
it.
when I met Charles.
Uh-huh.
And Charles kind of discovered me. And Charles and I did. I would come in at 9:30.
You'd see him during the cross. Okay, right.
We did the last half hour together.
Yeah.
And that's when my career changed. Charles changed my career
So
because he believed in me, and because I literally was going nowhere. And he says, you're really smart.
What did
man."
he see? No,
Apparently,
mean that
you're not seeing it?
I don't mean it sarcastically. I mean, what did he? Because how old were you then? You were a kid.
Well, at that point, I wasn't that young. I was 27.
That's still for this business pretty young.
Yeah.
And how old was he?
He's 12 years older than me.
So
or
he
something.
was about my age now, give or take. He was about
yeah,
40.
Yeah.
Right.
And so and that's when I got confident, and that's when I started to really.
Did you feel like
believe
when
in
you did you
myself.
feel like when you got moved to middays that you were kind of done? Were you thinking I got to figure out something else to do?
I didn't think my career was over, but I we got to remember though that was
Yeah.
different times. I mean,
Right.
it wasn't career so much as fun.
Right.
I wasn't married and had kids. Could you?
Yeah.
And we were kind of stoners then.
Sure.
So it was. I wasn't career motivated at that point.
So how'd you wind up at Channel 5? It's Channel 5, right?
Channel 5, somebody asked me if I wanted to be a writer for a show. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't want to be a writer. I want to be on TV.
Sure.
And then after I said it, I thought, why did that ever come out of my mouth? I never even gave one thought of
Right.
it. It's just like an impulse.
Right.
Anyway, I went and auditioned, then I got it, and it was a late night, really free-form kind of silly talk show. And I did that for a year.
Nightly?
Yeah, it was like late at night, and there was no
Midnight?
cable then. It was the only thing on.
This is
It was
81?
1980.
80.
Yeah, 1980. And then this guy, Richie Balsma, who owned KISS, called me up and said, I'd like you to come do mornings for us at KISS. And I said, I don't think so. I'm on TV. And then radio to me was a step down. If I only knew what you made in radio, boy, I would have didn't. Was
Right.
I being stupid?
Right.
But I said, no, I want to stay in TV. So then I went to the boss at Channel 5, this guy, Bruce Marson, who's no longer there. And as a courtesy, I said, I just think I should tell you that I was offered a radio job. But you don't, because I wasn't sure. And I said, but I told him no. And he said, Matt, take the radio job. That was the end of my TV career.
Right.
So I kept failing. Now that I've never thought of this, Kirk, you bring this out in me. I never thought of it. I actually failed a lot
To get
before
to
I became
success is what I feel,
successful.
but I think that's not an uncommon
But I think that's
story,
normal
right?
in showbiz, right?
Yeah.
You fail a lot.
Sure.
I failed a lot on my way. And then when I got to Kiss,
Did you have an idea for a show when you went over there? Or they hired you right away, 6A to 10A, right?
at Kiss, we're talking about now?
Well,
There's top 40. I never did top 40 in my life.
Did you have any idea when you walked in there what you wanted to do, or did you know you could do it? Did you? Because you were at BCN,
No,
which was
because I
different.
came from TV. I thought I was going to just. I thought that I was a TV guy still, even though
You did.
Channel
So you thought
5,
you'd go back to TV
Correct.
eventually.
So I would just do radio for 6 months, and that was 35 years ago, and I'm still there.
And how did it? How long did it take you to get comfortable in the top 40 format? It seems
Years.
Years.
Swear to God, years.
When you started, how much?
It's a shorter form.
Would you play more music when you started versus now, or no?
Yeah. It's just funny. Can't really remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you feel? At what point did you realize? And because I know you're big into sports, you're big into. You don't listen to the music. At what point did you feel comfortable knowing that you're doing a show for mostly women? I mean, well, what is the average?
I didn't think
What's the average
women-
Matty listener right now? If you do a demographic, ours I know is like a 46-year-old white guy who makes some money and might lean more right than left. We sort of know who our average listener is.
Right.
Who's your average listener? Who is that?
Well, it's older than it used to be, like 30-year-old woman.
30-year-old woman.
Right. We don't really target. My morning show is older than the rest of the station. When they do research and stuff, they research women in their early 20s for the music.
Right.
But my show is, well, I've been there for so long that, my audience has aged.
Right.
They're not my age, but I mean, yeah. So it's about 65, 70% women.
Yeah.
And like I said, my show, late 20s, early 30s is our core. Where
But
we make all our money.
do you even go in thinking like I'm broadcasting to women? You just go in and talk, right?
Well,
Or is that not true?
When Howard came to town, whatever year, God,
I'm going to say
I'm
that
not
was
good at that.
he came in at nights originally at BCN, right?
yeah.
And I remember
It's
because
the
it was
90s. It was definitely
I want to say it was
pre-9/11.
90.
Early
oh no,
90s.
it definitely was. It was 90. We can look it up. I want to say it was the summer of '94. It was a big deal for me because I love Stern. I would listen to him. He was on
Yeah.
TV. And
So anyway,
right.
when Howard came in, I remember meeting with my team and saying that we have to be more female, specifically because he was so powerful.
you just knew you were not going to win the battle with.
I could never beat Howard
Guys.
with men. Like we were number one pretty handily in those days, and then Howard came in, and Howard's tough to beat. So I think we started focusing a little more on women, a little more gossipy stuff, a little more female.
Is that still the core of the show today? I don't get to listen to it. I'm on the same time you are. What's the show? What was today's show? We're taping this on Wednesday. What did you talk about today? Do you even know? It was so long ago. It was about an hour and a half ago. I mean, I understand you don't remember much about '77, but 9:30 I think is reasonable, isn't it?
Hold on, okay. Listen, what did we talk about?
Oh, Jesus, Matty.
Oh God, this is really scary. Well, I mean, I know
Did you
we
talk about
talked
Dancing
about
with the
this
Stars?
we talked about this $1 billion wedding. We talked about.
Oh, is that the one with like Jennifer
yeah.
Lopez and all that shit?
No, it's big some Russian wedding. Yeah,
Yeah,
we talked.
she's
Yeah,
talking
we
about-
talked
yeah.
about J Lo. Yeah, we always the Kardashians. We talked about how. I don't know which one's which. I think it's Kourtney Kardashian said she's never seen a white penis before. We touched
Really?
on that. Obviously,
Yeah,
they look
right.
like the others, only smaller.
Right, I've
you could
I've
write
seen
those
it.
jokes. These
Yes,
jokes write
yes,
themselves.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of my orientation is all personal stuff and family stories and
Sure.
stuff like that. We tell a lot of family stories. I always
Yeah.
talk about my dad and my kids and all that kind of stuff. Billy Costa
Yep.
does the entertainment stuff, and he and Lisa Donovan focus more on that's the real female stuff
Mm-hmm.
because they talk about pop culture that I have no interest in.
Do you just sit out of that, or do you just sort of act like the guy who doesn't know anything about it?
Yeah, mostly.
Right.
And then then the boss says, "Could you try and act like you know a little bit of it?"
So you've been doing this for at KISS. I mean, this run is. I used to listen. My mom would drive me to grammar school, and
That's what everybody
would listen
says.
to you.
My
I mean,
mom,
you
my
probably
mom,
50
my
times-
sister, my
mom,
girlfriend.
Right, my aunt would listen to you, and I would drive there, and we'd be listening to you in the morning.
Right.
And my dad would drive me, and Lauren and Wally. I listened to Lauren and Wally with my dad. So I mean,
Lauren
both
is
still around.
he's about the only one that older than me now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Well, I
older.
think
He's
we
older
all-
than me.
We all think Dino's a little older than he pretends, though. Dino's probably in the 70s.
Who?
John.
Dennis?
Yes, he's been lying about his age. We think for
I
a
look.
long
Yeah,
time.
it said 64. I thought that was.
That's a stretch. I mean, he was 64 once.
We all were.
Yes, but no, but your
So what's
run-
the question?
No, but I was going to say this run has been unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. What John and Jerry have done is unbelievable. Yours has been twice as long.
Yeah.
I mean, does that make any sense? So my question was,
How do you wrap?
my
It's like
question-
getting older.
Yeah,
my
forget it.
God,
I'm not gonna-
wasn't I once a young guy?
But
I
my
know.
question is, how old is your program director?
Your age.
What's he done?
Where's he been?
Yeah, I mean, when he
Denver. He's at.
is he from
Atlanta.
Boston?
No.
So when he comes in and gives you criticism, there must be part of you that says, "Go fuck yourself."
No, because
There's no way that he knows how to do your job better than you know how to do that
No.
job.
right. But I'm at a different point in my career, and so it's all the numbers. So we're number one for a long time, and then we slipped a little bit. So if we slip, and then we did some research on the show, and it kind of showed that I was reading older and grumpier, and I had to stop being so grumpy.
You were reading older and grumpier?
Yeah.
What do you mean reading?
The perception of me.
The perception was that you're older and grumpier. So you have to act less old and less grumpy?
Yeah, but I didn't. But see.
But when
I
he says
like-
that to you, do you say that's bullshit, or do you believe the numbers?
No. That was much deeper than that. I had to meet with the research team and
Right.
look at things that were presented. It was hard, actually, not fun.
Yeah.
No, because the numbers, we weren't number one.
How long
We had
ago was
slipped.
this?
The summer.
Oh, this past summer?
Yeah, so we looked at some stuff. We've been number one for a long time.
Isn't summer kind of bullshit,
And
though?
that Freddie Toucher shithead beat me. I got aggravated.
Well, that happens.
No,
That
I
can
actually like Fred a lot.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
not really.
But no. So I don't want to be judged, but the numbers are off, and I'm a pro, and I want to win. So if I look at it.
See, I have to learn from you because I will have these meetings, and I am not nearly as accomplished as you are in this business, not even close. I'm new to it. I've had some success, and I will meet with these people sometimes, and I want to say to them that just, leave me the fuck alone. Let me do
I
my
did that
show.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
Oh God! Ask my earlier PD.
This is a kiss.
Oh,
So what would
hated
happen?
it.
So let me hear that. So let's say
Oh
whatever,
God,
86
leave me
or something.
alone.
Or,
Oh God, yeah.
So they come in and say, but they would come in. My guess is they would come in. Now that's.
But I
different.
didn't really have hands-on PDs.
You didn't.
No.
No
Sonny Joe
assholes?
White. No, it's the '80s. They were on coke.
90s, same thing. 90s, same thing. No assholes. But you were always doing pretty damn well.
Yeah, I haven't had real hands-on PDs. I mean, I've had PDs that work with me. We also, by the time the late '80s came, I was pretty big.
No, I know it. You were rolling.
Yeah, so
but
I
that
didn't get a
doesn't-
lot of micromanaging. So I was lucky.
Do you get the sense that the rest of the people at the station don't like you, or jealous of envious of your success
I think there was a period where I was pretty unpopular. Yeah.
within the building?
Yes.
Anybody specifically?
Well, I was dickier then.
Well, like
I've mellowed.
Well, like what would happen? You give me an example. Like, what would you do?
I had kids.
Right.
Kids change. You've
I have
kids.
my daughter is 9. My son will be 4 in a couple of weeks.
Okay, it changes you.
It does.
Well,
change
you're
you.
holding on to your dickiness even with the children.
Well,
I really respect that.
Well,
they haven't
it's-
fumbled you that much.
Yeah. Well, the mornings fuck me up though. I don't know. You seem
The hours?
Yes, they seem. You just seem. I'm never not tired. Never. And I was never a big sleeper anyway. But I'm never, ever, ever.
But it's all I've ever done. Like I sleep most of the winter.
What do you
Like
mean?
in the spring.
What, you
Like I'll take
hibernate?
naps. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're
in
a
the
napper?
spring. Yeah, but only in the winter. Because I play golf badly, but I belong to a club.
summer?
So I'll work out a little bit at a gym, like an old man workout,
Right.
like a couple of.
You do the. You do
Like
the,
I think
you
when
do
I
the
put
elliptical?
when I do benches, and I think what I used to do, and I was
Well.
never a big guy.
Right.
Like is this good? What is this? 40 pounds? It's pretty embarrassing. But then so I'll do a light workout and then go to the club.
Is there a part of you
Play golf.
when you get up? What time do you get up every morning?
5:30.
What? What did you just say?
Not really a big show. That's why you're
Where do you
tired.
live?
You get up.
Do you live in the studio?
This has happened to me thousands of times. Whenever I meet somebody, like on a golf course, like, "Hey, buddy, when do you get up?" And I say 5:30. Go, well, that's not so bad. And I say, well, I never wasn't complaining. You asked me. I know.
I was expecting, 4:15.
That's when the team gets up.
Where's the studio?
Medford,
Where do you live?
Newton.
So you get up at
20
5:30.
minutes. Yeah.
20-minute commute.
Yeah.
You get in the winter and you'll get up at 5:30 and drive in shitty weather?
Yes.
Is it
That's four-wheel drive.
What time do we hear your voice first? On the
air?
Yeah.
Like 6. It's like 6:20 or
So
something.
they'll play a couple of songs.
Well, we front load commercials. We do that on purpose. It's not because I'm lazy. I mean, it's a coincidence that I happen to be lazy, but that's not why we did it. I mean, that's how we formatted we play a song and then a bunch of commercials on a song, and if I went in and did a break, then it would back the commercials towards
it.
prime time more. So
right.
It's not just because I'm lazy.
Is your show, because our show, our program director is actually pretty good. He leaves us alone. Our numbers are good, so he leaves us alone. It's a fair deal.
Very good.
They're good. Are you out? I'm just going to we're supposed to be out at 6:25, 6:40, 6:55. Are you?
Yeah, we have a clock.
Do you stick to it, or do you do whatever the hell you want? Are there times when something's going good
well,
where you'll go long? Is my question. Yeah.
Yeah. But see, it's
do you respect the idea that
it's different technology now,
right?
Like because in the old days when people would just listen and they'd fill out this form of when they listen, but now people carry meters,
right?
And it's weird over the quarter hours. I mean,
sure.
Your listeners don't know what this means, but you do.
Sorry, I do.
With the over the quarter hours and it resets.
Yep.
So if I go too long and don't pay attention to the clock, I'm screwing myself ratings wise. So
yes.
We kind of watch it just like you do.
We get stupid with it sometimes and it fucks us. But yeah, we try.
Well,
as
if
hard
I
as
have
we
a
can.
guest, it changes everything because if you have somebody in the studio and he's good, you're not going to say, "Well, we're done" when he's going well. Type of
How many
thing.
guests do you have? How
Not as many as we used to. We used to have a lot of guests.
Who you have, like a Nick Jonas or somebody? If somebody's around
well,
like that,
music.
or?
Mostly back in the day, we would have like people from bad television shows, would come through, like B-list or C-list actors.
But they don't do that anymore, right? They don't make that circuit.
No, you know why? Because you go on Ryan Seacrest or Howard Stern, you just did 150 stations.
Right.
I mean, it's killed it.
What do you think?
The syndicated guys, the Elvis Duran, Ryan, Howard, those guys, they killed it for the individual guys because they could do one interview and they just covered the whole country.
This isn't my world. Is Seacrest on in Boston?
We run him in middays.
Oh, you have him on. Oh, so Seacrest is
we
on
run him
after
in
you.
middays. Yeah, after me.
Is he a good radio talk show host?
Well, he's not a comedian, so he's very different.
What is his show? I don't even know.
He's like Dick Clark. He'll say he was like
that's his
he's
mentor?
just he's a host.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's Ed Sullivan, to use a reference from my childhood.
Right.
He's not the funny guy. I mean, he tells little jokes, but you know what I mean.
But you have no back and forth with him because it's a national show and it's done, right?
Well, I know him.
Right, but I mean, there's no interaction generally, right?
No, he called on my anniversry.
Shit like
he's
that.
a good kid.
Yeah.
And he does, once a year we interact at charity or something.
But you'll do a show, I understand you guys do a little bit lighter, a little bit looser, but if something happens like, whatever, the marathon bombing, well, then that becomes your show, right?
Well, I told people, people said, what's, the highlight of your career? Mm-hmm. It's probably 9/11. We stayed on all day. The guys after me said, I can't do it.
They couldn't touch it?
Well, we didn't know if you remember 9/11, I mean, like you dropped everything.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, it was all happening while you were on, too.
Yeah, so we just took calls and, talked to people and they're scared and all that. And then the marathon bombing was the same way. We dropped all the jokes and all the music and just talked to people. My daughter was there.
Right.
So it was really hot for me, the
Sure.
marathon one. And years ago before that, I don't know if you remember the Challenger. Were you around?
Of course. I was in 5th grade.
Yeah. That was the first time we kind of dropped everything. The
Right.
Challenger, those, your listeners don't remember. That's when the local teacher was killed.
Kristen McAuliffe, yeah.
So that day, 9/11, was really more the day after 9/11 because it happened at the end of the show.
It did.
The second bomb, we were done already when the second one.
Well, the Challenger would have been the day after, too, because that was
definitely
noonish.
and the marathon. So those 3 days, and then I was asked to host the Boston Strong concert. Do you remember that?
Sure, a couple of years after the the
so
Garden,
I hosted that and came out and did a speech about the thing. So For 35 years, I told jokes on the radio, and the 3 most important days, I didn't tell any jokes. Isn't that weird?
No, that makes sense.
But
I mean, those are the
what I
ones
mean?
you remember the most.
Yeah, because those were the days that I was the most proud of my career. Because though I imagine this, the flight that came out of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would have been the first hour. I think
you might be right.
it was the first hour. I got a letter from the widow of the pilot that she was listening to me.
Really?
That's my
Jesus.
career right there. I mean, I've won 2 Marconi Awards and all that. Was pretty cool.
Right.
That to me was the highlight of the career. The fact that it meant something when people turned to me in a crisis. That's how do you, for a guy who's just a wise guy jokester, whoever thought that would
So
happen?
you feel like 9/11 show was more important than the Kardashian penis show you did today? You want to stand by that, you think?
Well, they got to give me a minute on that. Because that was a pretty good line. They're like the same, except they're smaller. I thought that was funny.
That's true.
That's a good joke.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Have you ever been suspended?
No.
No? have
I know. I
3 times
You've 3.
already.
You've had 3.
3, yeah. 3.
How could you had 3 in 3 years? That's amazing.
It's really not. It's pretty stupid, and I'm not proud of any of them. But it's you do things, and I mean, you have to know.
Have I ever been in trouble?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever think you were gonna get fired?
From Kiss?
Yeah.
No.
Never even close.
Well, I wasn't suspended. No, but I mean, clients more than.
If you shit on the client, well, that's rule number 1. You can't do that.
Well, usually what happens.
Let me
is,
lecture you about the business, man.
I know.
Don't do that.
No, it's usually I'm not thinking they're a client.
No, you don't. You don't. You definitely don't. Right? And you just say it by mistake, and then.
And a sales manager came to me not that long ago and said, "Everyone is our client. We're Kiss 108.
Right.
Everyone in town has been on our air at
Right.
once
Or
or
it's going to
twice.
be a client, right?
Unless it's very male.
Right.
We're more female. Honestly.
Do you ever wish you could do more sports talk, or do you not care about that? Could you do it?
No. Am I well versed? You mean every day? No, I could
just
talk
could
about
you-
sports now.
Could you? I mean, do you
want to
listen-
talk about sports for
what
a few
do you listen
minutes?
to when you're in the car? No, God,
Sports,
no. You
mostly.
do. You listen
Yeah.
to the stations, and you listen to.
Yeah, back and forth, you and the other guys.
Yeah.
Felger and I are actually kind of friendly in real life. We've been together a few times.
How about what do you think of? Do you have Sirius or no?
Yes.
What do you think of? Because I grew up. Stern is my guy. I just grew up. I love Stern. I hear Stern now. Interviewing Ellen DeGeneres and Sally Field, and my heart breaks. I long for
Well, I had a thing with him. You're
what-
leading to
that's-
this,
I'm
and I know
walking into this.
you're walking into my experience with him.
Yes, which I would love to hear in great detail.
I'm sure you would.
And you,
No, I know your producer mentioned that.
when did it start? When he got here?
No, it only was one day. You mean the
Yes.
the thing that happened?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was like 98-ish.
Okay.
And so it wasn't the Marconi Award, or maybe it was. I was nominated I've been lucky enough to win the Marconi Award twice, which is pretty cool.
Great.
But this wasn't that. It was either a nomination that the year I didn't win, or it was some other award, because I've won a few other awards. Anyway, so I got a call and they said, "Howard's going off on you."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if he was in Boston then.
The 980 would have been for sure.
Oh, then I guess he was. So
Yeah.
somebody calls up and says, "Howard's going off on you." And I go, "Why? What did I do?" When had been nominated for an award, and who the hell do I think why wasn't he nominated?
Right.
Very Donald Trump-ish.
Right.
And so I did a thing that I've regretted ever since. I haven't regretted too many radio things I've done. We've done a lot of crazy gags that were kind of stupid and didn't really land. But this was my number one by far biggest regret.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Oh, let's call him." First of all, A, I never thought we'd get him.
Right.
And B, I thought we'd be, funny guys. We're both from New York, yada, yada,
Yeah.
Jewish guys. And we got him.
Right.
And he came on my air and his air at the same time.
I remember
this
this.
is Howard Stern, the most famous DJ in the world,
Sure.
probably up there, one of the most. And he went crazy on me.
I remember this.
Went crazy on me. And the thing that I regret about it so much is that how did I not know that's going to happen? I knew Howard. I mean, I never met him, but I knew his act. you stole my thing. You copied from me. You're nothing. Who the hell do you think you are? I mean, and what I regret about it was that A, I didn't see it coming, and B, I chose to take the high road, which backfired. Because I said, Howard, come on, man, I listen to you all the time.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
And that just made him more angry.
Right.
And a couple things in my defense. I'm older than Howard Stern. I had my act well established before he started.
Right, but that doesn't matter when you're arguing with him.
Yeah. So that's not true. And second of all, I have a completely different show than him. I'm talking to women.
Right.
He's talking to men.
Right.
So it was that thing that he did. And what strikes me is how much he's like Trump. Mm-hmm. It's like his career. This guy is worth probably $500 or $600 million. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he's so bitter and sensitive and insecure, and like to me. I mean, I've done pretty well. I mean, I have a couple of houses, and
sure, great career.
Drove here in a big black Mercedes,
right.
And I'm doing pretty well, and I'm very, very appreciative and gracious, and consider myself very lucky. And Howard has 1,000 times my money,
right? And
he's bitter and insecure.
I think he would say he wouldn't have that career if he wasn't bitter and insecure, though. And you just can't get rid of it.
Well, here's a weird irony. So I go to New York like a week later with my wife, and we're in Barney's, and Howard's shopping with his girlfriend, or before that,
right.
Whoever he's married to her now.
Right.
And he just kind of looked normal, and I thought, I got to go up to him because it's got to be an act. Now we're off the air, but I didn't.
You didn't do it?
I chickened out.
Have you ever talked to him since?
No.
No? You had no interaction
I
with him?
really think in my heart that if I went up to him in Barney's, But then again,
I think he would have been cool.
Don't you going to yell at me in
That's
the
what I mean.
middle of Barney's?
I think he would have been cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think part of him, you hear that he's different. But my point is, when you hear him now, he's different than he was 10 or 15 years ago. I mean, he was a madman, and now he's sort of different.
And yet the ironic thing is he swears now, which is, but
that's true.
And now what are you going to talk about sexually with, so now it has to be, you couldn't talk legitimate sex anymore when he went on Sirius. It has to be completely anal sex, and that got boring. So now it's like donkeys and mules and chickens and whatever.
Was it a good day for you when he left, or did you already sort of segmented your audience?
We did okay against Howard once we got because it's the same thing competing against you and competing against Freddie Toucher. Boys versus girls. If you get enough women,
right. I mean, do you view us as competition or no? Because we really don't with you. I mean, I know you do great, but you do great. I almost look at it as a different universe, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, if you want to be number one, you have to be number one versus everybody.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. Do you look at adult numbers or just men?
When we look at adults, and I have adult bonus as well as 25-54, but I look more at the men. I mean, the numbers we get are the men numbers.
If I don't win women, then I got to quit. And women are not an issue. It's whether we can win adults.
Your contract is up in 2018, 19, 18? Which one?
God, you know more about me than my family.
I research. I'm not. I think you think I'm a dummy or something.
I'm not.
I'm no dummy here.
No, you know what I think? I think you'd be amazed at how unfamous I think I am. I'm amazed that even this stuff is on the internet.
Well, it's a pocket of people. You get recognized when you go out.
I do, but not a lot.
Neither do I, but I mean enough that you sort
of. I'm not on TV. I mean, when I'm with Billy Costa.
Well, he's like, right.
Yeah, I get it's so different when I'm with him. When I'm with him, it's like I feel really famous.
And you told me before we came on the air that he's a fucking asshole, right?
I did not.
Wasn't that? Did I not hear that?
No.
Do you guys get along well or no?
Oh, we're great friends. Best of friends.
Really?
Best of friends.
Is there ever any? So, we've three guys with me, John, and Jerry. There are times where we'll go weeks without talking to each other. There's always two guys who are mad at each other, and one guy isn't.
No,
there's never any.
Well, no, you mean in 30 years?
Well, I mean, what's the longest you've gone? What's the longest you've gone without talking to say
Billy?
Yeah.
You mean like just doing the show but not talking to him when I turn the mic off?
Red light goes off, you don't talk.
20 minutes.
Really? Nothing carried over to the next day? That's incredible.
Oh yeah, no, it carried. We've had times where it carried over the next day, and then we talk during the day.
Right.
Well, I also have a smart wife who goes, "Okay, you don't have that much. You don't have that many friends, Matt. Call Billy. Tell him you're sorry." I can't even remember what we fought about.
Could you do the show without him now? If he fell off a cliff today, could you do the show tomorrow?
I'd bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
I'm more of a reactive guy. I'm not a monologuist kind of guy. Is that a word? Monologist.
Yeah. Like Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. Could you? So it's up in 18 or 19.
If he literally died, we'd replace him.
You probably do a
tribute. But I don't want to think about
you do
that.
A tribute
so it's like
show
asking
first.
me if my wife died.
It is?
Well, no.
Which is more important?
Well, my wife, but...
You sure?
Then Billy?
Kids are older
I've
now.
known Billy longer. Billy's known all three of my wives.
Are we done with 3? 3 and done?
Oh, definitely. I'm very happily married.
So you're done in 2018 or 19? Give me, when are you done with your deal? I'll tell you when
Oh,
I'm
I thought you were asking if my marriage was done.
Well, that might be 2.
No, well, you just went from Yeah. Okay, well, this is the question that I've been waiting for. So I'm surprised you didn't lead with it.
Well, I wanted to massage you and then get there.
No, you know what? It's very difficult. You never know how you're going to feel till you get at a certain age, until you get to that age, you know? I don't want to quit.
But you could, right?
You mean financially?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd fly first class for the rest of my life.
But you'd be okay, is my point.
Could I retire now and be okay?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So that part of it's not that big a deal. You still like to do it.
Yeah, well, it's really both. Money's weird.
Oh, I'm starting
Money's
to figure
weird.
it out.
Like, what if I live?
What do you mean, to like 100?
Well, no, but like, you know what's tough nowadays? Your money makes nothing unless you're really lucky in the stock market.
Right.
I mean, when you were 20, you could get 8% in the bank.
Right. Right.
Like it was a no-brainer to retire.
Right.
Your money just made money.
But you like.
You don't want to talk about that. Okay, so you want to know? You want to know if I like it after 35 years when you hate it after 3 years?
I'm not saying I hate it, but there are days where I wake up and I think this is the last place in the world I want to be. Literally, I'd rather be in a Turkish prison, like getting my ass kicked. They're only like 2 or 3 times a week. It's not every day. It's like maybe 2 days a week.
Are you serious?
Well,
you hate it that much? 2 days out of 5?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
What do you hate about it? Do you want me to help you?
No. Well, I don't know.
Well, John and Jerry, can I tell you something? Honestly?
Yeah.
John and Jerry are tough. I know them.
Very tough.
I don't know John that well. Jerry and I have played golf. I've spent some time with Jerry.
Right.
Over the years, these guys are tough guys. They're right-wing guys. They're not fuzzy. We're like a girl station.
Yes, and
we're Democrats.
Right, and I'm kind of an asshole too. So you get in that world, and sometimes
you get angry at each other.
Yeah, and then it festers, and you get mad at How many producers have you gone through in, like, say, the last 5 years?
Not a ton.
No. Are you hard on producers or no?
I have one. I used to have 2 all the time. We kind of replaced 2 with 1.
Yeah.
But,
are you tough? Recently. Are you a ball breaker? Or are you?
Am I hard to work with?
Yeah. Do you give them shit, or do you?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I don't think I'm the least nice person of the whole team. If you take all the producers and my production guys and Billy and Lisa, there's no question I'm the least likable. It's not even close. Everybody that works with me is very nice.
Have you gotten tougher as you've gotten older on them?
No.
Softer? Or about the same?
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah. So you have an answer, but
because it's a pressure. Because you feel
no question.
The team doesn't feel the numbers pressure like I do. So you're not that. See, it's my show.
Well, it's your show,
so it's different. Yeah, like the pressure to win is really.
But I will say, if you listen to our show, I'm a significant part of the dynamic, and I feel that. I mean, I have bonuses too. It's when I lose.
You all have the same bonuses.
I don't know that. That I don't know.
Well, you don't make the same money.
Well,
you do?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that. I've recently things are good. Things are good. Things are fine. I'm not. I'm not making Matt Siegel money. $5-6 million a year.
Did they have it set up that all because it's all equal? I doubt.
No.
How could it be? They've been there for 20 years.
But I don't think John and Jerry make the same amount of money either. They negotiate separately. They have different agents. There's no way they make the same.
I don't have an agent. Never have.
You don't? Mm-mm. You never had an agent.
Never.
So you just go in yourself and do it.
Yep.
How long was the last negotiation?
5 minutes.
Really? That simple?
I said,
that can't be true.
I said, I want a signing bonus. We don't do signing bonuses. I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay, we'll give you one.
Yeah. And how long was the deal?
The last deal was, I've usually like 5 years locked in. And that's why I have 3 years left.
So you have 3 years left, 16, 17, 18?
Yeah.
And you're going to do it again in 18?
I can't answer that only because I don't know how I'll feel.
Well, assuming you feel like you do today, would you want to do it?
I'd stay.
You'd stay?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm on top of it. I worry about that. I worry about losing my mind. I'm not going to lie.
You better than you were 10 years ago?
Like when you asked me the question,
it's a little concerning.
What was on your show today? And I couldn't remember my show that I just did.
But I do that too, though. Sometimes you just forget.
Well, it's all kind of repetitive.
How often do you think about the show during the day? You think about tomorrow's show when you get out of here, or no?
You got to be kidding.
What?
You're asking me if I'm thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow?
Well, I do.
Not for a second.
Were you ever?
I already told you that I'm in bed when the show starts. I've never been on. Well, that's not true because sometimes I'll have like a little bout of insomnia.
You're
or
in
something.
bed when the show starts.
I'm in my car.
Have you ever like done the first segment from your car on like the car?
Many times. We have like this little. We have these little tapes,
Right.
This with a girl in English accent saying, and now from broadcasting from a car near you, it says, and now broadcasting from a car near you.
See, this is, and you seem like a great guy. This is the first time we've ever met. But if I worked with you, I think I'd be like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I give Billy and those guys credit. There has to be some submerging of egos because it's your show. Part of me would be like, this fucking guy got up at 5:30 today. Fuck him. You never get that sense from them.
No.
They're better people than I am.
Much
Significantly better people than I am.
No, first of all, it's different with Billy. Billy has 3 television shows.
I know, he's like a empire.
No, seriously.
On his own.
I mean, I've never spoken to him about this specifically. I know that he always says his favorite thing is me. I don't mean, you know what I mean.
I understand.
The show.
The show.
That because it's the most fun, because it's just all laughs. I mean, his other shows are not laughing. They're like
no, but he's like eating like shrimp and stuff on the other show.
Yeah, but anyway, I think when he's out in the world, he's recognized way more than me. He's that TV thing, and he hosts all these things at night. I mean, he gets so much ego from the rest of the day that I don't think he feels competitive with me. I really don't. And Lisa, I think Lisa would like to make more money.
Yeah,
but
everybody
it's
would.
kind of mom mode. She's got 2 kids at home.
Right.
So it is different.
So you leave.
So you're dealing with.
There's a lot of shit going on here, man.
No, but you're dealing with guys that are you're all you're 3 alphas in the same room.
Right.
That's a problem. We don't have that.
It is a problem.
Because with my show, it's my show, and they're all terrific contributors to the show, but there's not that competition.
Are you out the door at 10 o'clock? What's it like after the show? We stick around. We'll talk to the producers. The PD might come in.
Yeah, I never want to really run out. I'll stay, like 10:30 sometimes.
And what do you do? Nothing? You just sit around?
Well, winter's really hard on me.
What do you mean?
Because I have nothing to do, and I just get like
you get stir crazy.
Yeah.
You take the whole summer off, basically?
No, I work. But
how much vacation do you
golf. Get? 4 weeks.
You have 4 weeks?
Not so bad. Is that a lot to you?
I have more than you do.
You have 5 weeks?
Yeah. How do you have 4 weeks vacation?
You have
Who's your fucking agent?
I don't. I told you I don't have an agent.
How do you only have 4 weeks vacation?
That's all I get. And I get the days now.
Oh, I got to be fair.
The Monday days.
How many actual minutes are you actually on air during the? Well, I'm on the whole time.
Yeah, we play music. Yeah, you're. It's harder what you do than what I do.
Yeah, but But I mean, do you get bored though? Do you ever get bored? You've been doing this for. Does it feel like Groundhog Day ever?
So you're not really interviewing me. You want me to help you.
Yes,
which is interesting.
Totally,
when
totally
you want to turn the mics off and go to lunch, and then I'll talk to you about.
Do you get the feeling that you ever want to hang out with me or talk to me again, or do you like this? I'm not going to help this guy.
I'd be happy to.
Callahan and I are great friends, but Callahan has just said
you like Callahan, but you don't like John. Is that what you just said?
I didn't say that. I said no. Don't.
That's what I heard.
Don't do that. Don't. You're not actually a shrink. Jerry and I are really good friends, and John is a different animal. John is always on the move, always on the go. He just isn't around much. Jerry and I have become pretty good friends.
Like, what does he do? Like appearances and
no, he's
charities?
A little older now. He's building a house. He's got a place down in Florida.
Well, he remarried, right, or something?
He remarried, yeah, second wife. But Jerry will say to me, basically, you're crazy. I can't fix you. I can't help you. You're on your own on this one.
So Jerry can't help you?
No, I don't.
But
think
I can.
You think you can?
I'm positive I could.
Do you think if Billy ever left, that maybe I could take over the Billy role and do gossip
and stuff?
You're
talking to girls. You could not.
I could absolutely.
You
do
could not
that.
refer. However, what'd you call Aaron Andrews?
I don't recall that.
Yeah,
that was a mistake. I can admit that was a mistake.
Could you shift over to my world?
Can I do a Matty show? Can I come on one day and do it? Billy can switch with me one day.
I don't know that Billy's.
That's a. Oh, he's not big on sports.
You haven't asked me one question about sports.
Well, because I talk about sports all day. What do you want to talk about? Say whatever you want about sports. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
No, I don't want to because I was told not to.
By who?
Well, because
Maybe you were
I have
told
some
not to.
I have some problems with some people in this town, and I don't want to make it any worse.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. You can't say that. When you say that, can I be your psychologist? You're telling me that you want to talk about it.
No, I'm not.
Give me one. Just one. We're wrapping up. Just give me one.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
Okay.
This is something I don't understand, but since you're apparently somewhat neurotic and anxious,
well,
maybe you can relate to this. We're talking sports now, right?
Sure.
I root for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I really legitimately root for them. Watch every game, read the papers, follow them.
Well, you've been here long enough that you're...
I root for them.
Yeah.
It's not like I mildly root for them. I legitimately root for them.
You care, yes.
I get upset when they lose, and I get happy when they win.
You were mad after the Denver game.
Totally.
Right. Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't like them. Now, how do you explain that?
What do you
I
mean?
think it's like having a super hot, sexy girlfriend, but you never marry her because you don't like her.
Why don't you like them? Because of Belichick?
I don't like Belichick.
Do you like Brady?
Although I did meet Belichick and made him laugh.
Really?
Imagine that.
Really?
I made
Look at
Bill
you.
Belichick laugh. I said to him, I got a couple of secret plays. How did you want me to... Is he email good?
Right.
And he just laughed.
He like, that's not bad.
Okay, so anyway, Bill, I have a problem with Belichick, I have a problem with Kraft, and I have a problem with Brady. Does that cover it?
What's your problem with Brady?
I
am not doing the Deflategate argument with you. I've been doing this for a year and a half.
The Deflategate?
Yeah.
Of course he knew.
Okay, that's...
Oh, my God. All he had to say, this drives me crazy. I like the ball softer. Looks like they let a little too much air out. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. We made a mistake.
Have you read any of the stuff about it, though? The Wells report? Any of it? Are you just saying this based on...
Felger told me.
That's all I need to know. I was going to say, it sounds like
and the secret food. I'm so sick of that. And he comes on your show, and says, "Do you know that people drink Coca-Cola?
He was arguing with me,
That's disgusting."
Yes.
And I'm going, shut up, you pompous ass. Okay, you have hundreds of millions of dollars, and we drink soda. Okay, Tom? We're not precious.
I argue with him about it. I agree.
I've had a hamburger and French fries and a Coke all at the same meal.
But yet you watch...
I look okay. I work out.
You're doing fine.
What is that?
Why don't you like
you
Kraft?
Precious little thing.
Why don't you
Kraft, here's my problem with Bob Kraft. I've known Bob for a while, and he is so sweet to me. Mm-hmm. So I feel really bad to criticize him.
Go ahead.
Because he's been great to me personally. He's always very friendly and very nice. But the problem I have with Bob, and it's all part of the whole Patriot mystique, that when Myra was alive, it was this whole we're better than you thing. Mm-hmm. The Patriot way.
Right.
I forget the name. Remember there was this guy from Nebraska or Kansas or somewhere, a big fat lineman.
Christian Peter.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And somehow he was in a little scandal.
They drafted him.
And he's not one of us.
Right.
Okay? Myra passes, and then you have a murderer playing tight end. But that isn't it. It's the girlfriend thing. Look, my wife is a lot younger than me, and I have a third wife, and I'm in people in glass houses and all that.
How much younger is she than you?
20.
She's 20 years younger than you.
But his girlfriend's 40 years younger or so.
Well,
and a model and a fake actress and it's
I know it looks silly, but if he's happy, like
right, no.
Shit,
Right, but I'm really glad you said that. I couldn't agree more. I go, what do I care?
Right, it's
like Rupert Murdoch is going out with a 12-year-old.
No,
what do I care?
You're not sleep with him, right? You're not the but
right.
No,
I agree with you 100% on that.
I may feel
but
different.
It never ends. We're special. It's the Patriots. We're special. Bill Belichick. You notice how I'm segueing
this
into
is like
Bill?
I'm not going to be able to get Felger on this podcast because he's at 98.5. It's like I'm channeling Felger here for the last 5 minutes.
Right. So Bill Belichick, let's go to him. Same
Sure.
thing. He's such a genius, right? You're telling me...
You know he's a great coach?
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Right.
Yeah. No, of course he is. No question about it. What a track record. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But you're so smart. You can't handle a press conference? I could, and I don't even know anything about football.
I think he can. I think he's just chosen not to.
But why?
Because
why be a dick? Why does Howard Stern act like a dick? Why does Donald Trump act like a dick? And why does Bill Belichick act like a dick? It drives me crazy.
I think Belichick enjoys.
You know everyone's name. You know Dan's name. Dan Jonas' name is Dan. You say, Dan, I can't tell you that.
I think he enjoys pissing them off. I think he likes the fact that
makes
it
you a
pisses
dick.
people off.
But that makes you a dick.
That's not a bad thing.
Yes, it is.
It is? All coaches are dicks. All great coaches at their core are assholes. So you want him to make pretend with the media and still actually be a dick? You'd be more satisfied with that. If
okay,
he's pretending.
Kirk, let me ask you something.
Yeah. And I've dealt with Belichick.
I'm helping you with your therapy. I'm swinging into your therapy.
Yes, good. That's really all that matters.
You've made some dick moves. You were named the worst person in the world by Keith Olbermann and all that
twice.
Kind of stuff.
Like you have two Marconis? I have that twice.
Okay, you're the worst person in the world twice.
Right.
But I can tell by talking to you right now that you're not a dick. You just say dick things once in a while.
Right. I'm like a guy, like guys are.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's different.
I agree.
Why can't Bill Belichick do what you're doing right now?
But what if his core he's actually a dick?
Then he's a dick.
Well, that's what I mean.
I don't like him.
Okay, but so
do you see the difference?
I do, but find another team then.
Wait a minute.
Root for the Seahawks. Everyone says Pete Carroll's a great guy. He's a 9/11 truther, but I don't know. Root for them.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is. It's creepy.
Ugh.
That's creepy. That's creepier.
He is not.
That's creepier than being mean to Ron Borges, isn't it?
Ugh, he is?
Yes.
Well, Ron Borges is kind of a dick, too.
He is, but he's a proud dick. Like, we're doing the thing right now. We're doing a bracket.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
We're doing a bracket right now.
I don't even know what I'm going to listen back to this and go, what did I just say?
Well, I'm surprised that you're a smart guy. I'm surprised that you're falling for this Deflategate stuff. Like, Brady had to have known. Known what?
Are you going back to Deflategate?
Well, I just known what? This is like my only chance to argue with Felger because I'm not on Comcast anymore either because I got fired from there. But
I heard. What'd you do to them?
I didn't do anything to them. The Aaron Andrews thing, I will admit, I totally fucked up. Comcast fucked that up. Totally. Completely. Google it. Everyone listening knows.
You must have loved the fact that Aaron was back in the news.
I'm fine. That was a terrible thing that was done to her. That guy's an asshole. I'm glad she can get $1 billion.
So why were you so mad at her when you went on that tirade?
Should I be lying on the couch during this conversation? What happened was
you wanted me to be your friend and help you.
I did.
We have it on tape.
I did.
I will do that. I'll help you.
What happened was we played sound of her interviewing a player at the baseball All-Star game, and at the end of it, she said, "Don't you love social media?" sarcastically, like social media is the cause for thing. And to be fair, Aaron Andrews, I think, has greatly profited from social media.
Oh, God, yeah.
Reasonable.
She also profited from the horrible thing that happened to her.
I think it didn't hurt her career as terrible as it was. I wouldn't disagree with that either, although I think it was terrible. And I heard her say it, and I said, what a bitch. And the minute I said it, I was like, you're so stupid. That's a total overreaction. I'm wrong to say that. And I said on the air, she probably isn't. I apologize. It was kind of a funny, crazy rant. They replayed it again a couple of hours later. When they replayed it, that's when people started hearing it, got on Deadspin, and then once that happened, the ball was gone.
Yeah.
I was wrong to say it.
Sports Illustrated called you a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal.
Yes, I know. I can't dispute that. I don't think there's anything inaccurate about that. I mean, I've fallen on that sword for that so many times. I got suspended. It cost me a lot of money.
You brought it up. You asked me if I got suspended. I didn't bring it up.
Well, I thought maybe in the course of you got suspended for something.
No, I got a lot of clients. I would go off on a client.
Sure, but like you said, I've done that before, and a sales guy will pull you aside, and I'll think, "Oh, Jesus, really? I didn't even know. You don't even know that because you're not listening to commercials on your station all day, you know."
No, of course not.
You don't think like that.
No.
So
I don't really care about Deflategate that much. It's more of the pomposity of it all. But again, that's like Felger. So yeah, you're talking to Felger now.
I know. I'm like talking. I didn't know you and Felger were boys.
So we're not really boys. We've had a couple of meals together and stuff. So I saw him when we were on vacation in the same place one time. I like him.
St. Bart's.
Smart
Turks and Caicos, St. Bart's, one of those places.
Yeah,
those A-list places.
So I just feel like I want to help you.
Oh God. I think you have children.
No, it's like you're really. Is this one of your longer podcasts? How long have this been on?
They all go.
Oh, you edit it out anyway.
Yeah, we'll cut out some stuff. We'll cut out the stuff where, I'll keep the part in where you rip Billy left and right. I was surprised to hear you do that. That was really rough language off the air.
Everyone knows that's not you. Stop it, or I won't help you.
How about
I won't help you if you don't stop doing that.
Will you play some of this podcast sound on your show?
Ben If you're listening,
He's not listening. Will you play some of this
then
sound?
don't let him do that.
On your own show or no?
Some of this?
Yeah. You're welcome to it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
You never know.
All right. And you're sticking around.
I didn't swear much today. I thought I would
Yeah,
swear
why didn't
more.
you?
I don't know.
Just instinct when you have a microphone in front of you?
Maybe.
Have you said fuck on the air before?
I've come really close. Yeah, I think so. Once or twice.
Bullshit. Shit. You say it by mistake. So when you're in because you're friends
It's hard
with Billy,
not to because I swear plenty in my real life.
What's the thing? When I'm talking on the phone, it's ridiculous. And you go on the air, and sometimes, if you're with somebody you really like, it's almost more difficult.
So tell me.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
You're miserable here the time?
No, 40% of the time.
That is what you said, 2 out of 5.
One,
That's 40%.
less now than I used to be. It's getting better. But, I have more fun when I'm angry, too, though. It's more fun.
Are they mean it? Are they mean to you?
No, I'm mean to them, too. The dynamic has changed from like 3 years ago now.
How did it start?
It
You
started
were like
out.
their butt boy.
Yeah, and then things have changed. And now I'm the swinging dick. I'm captain whatever. I'm the man. Not really, but we'll go back.
Let me ask you a question.
They're not briefed
Do they
on
know
that.
you're the man?
No, but I delude
No,
myself.
did Dennis and Callahan know you're the man, or do you just think you're
Dennis
the
and
man?
Callahan featuring Minihane.
I wonder if they're threatened by you.
Nah, I don't think so. They're not. They're pretty comfortable. I think at first
How do
there
you
was a
know?
little bit of that. Because
That
we've
John
talked
is.
about it. No, he's the host. I can't do what you guys do. I'm not a one. I sit there and react.
Okay.
I cannot get in and out of breaks. I suck at that. I hate that.
You can't do the one stuff?
I fill in sometimes if John's on vacation, but I don't like it. If that feels like work to me, that is work. There's 50
you're
million
not
things
comfortable
going
with
on.
it, Yeah.
It's just
not that
easier
hard.
to.
It's like looking at a clock.
But it's easier to react naturally, isn't it? Would you rather be doing in this chair or that chair for this?
Well, this is, you're asking me about myself, so
Right.
it's sort of, easy. I'm talking about myself. But I've done thousands of interviews. I've interviewed I've interviewed big people.
Sure. Cruise.
Ted Cruz,
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Is that before he was crazy or no?
Hillary,
Yeah.
Clinton.
You're not going
Big
anywhere.
stars.
You love this. You're not going anywhere. I'm going to read about you in like a year. You're going to have re-signed.
I never said I was going to stop. I'll stop if I can't win.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I'm not going to mention any names. This I will not do on tape.
Okay.
But I will not have a. There are guys in this town who have had long, successful careers have never won.
Mm-hmm.
I've won so much that I don't know if I could go there. Like just sort of be on.
Like who?
I don't want to say. It's not nice.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to be nice
No, they're
necessarily.
people I like. I'm not going to say their names, but they're.
But you can make a hell of a nice living finishing third
There
or
are
fourth.
right. There are guys that are on the air that have never been on top and
Right.
made plenty of money and had a really good life.
Right.
But that would be tough for me because I've been on top so much that could I just be like?
So you won't hang on?
I don't think I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think I could hang on. Unless, of course, I get the same money I'm making now.
And then you'll
it would
stick
be,
around.
of course, I'm going to hang on. I get paid too much to retire, and that's the truth. It's like, you imagine like if I'm sitting and like I'm not working, and instead of being on the air, it's 9:00 in the morning, and I'm reading the paper, and I'm thinking, how much money I just lost
It's
today
true.
by retiring?
That would be tough to do.
Yeah, it's not exactly like I do anything that's particularly difficult, and I don't hate it like you do.
Well, I hate it, but I'm addicted to it. I couldn't live without it. I've channeled other addictions to other places, and now I'm here, and I like doing it.
So this is the way you keep off drugs?
Yeah, and I
doing
run every
radio?
day. I run every day, and I do this, and I have kids.
Did you have an addiction problem?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
You
yeah.
sober?
I'm sober, yeah. Yes.
How many years?
Well, I had a drink in 2012, February, but I haven't been drunk since 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll
I have a
be.
daughter sober.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it'll be 12 years next month.
Oh, so I've done it. I've been to meetings.
Yeah.
I presented a medallion to her,
Right. Yeah.
which is very moving because usually I'm told that parents don't do it very
Not
often.
a lot. No, not a lot.
No,
yeah.
I flew to Florida.
Yeah.
I've been in those groups.
Sure.
I could tell you stories.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's actually, I never thought of it this way, but to have had the experience of being in treatment as a parent, it's easier. I can relate to people like you who So even though I've never
Right.
been there, I've been in the meetings with
Sure.
kids.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit.
And people
about
wind up channeling it in other ways. They're ultra marathons, or they. It's
So
what
you have
happens.
a sponsor?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's not around anymore. But yeah, so I'm sort of on my own now.
I could
Solo
be your
act.
radio sponsor.
You gonna
You
do
could
that?
call me. You could call me and say,
middle of the night?
John hurt my feeling. Well, not in the middle of the night, but
I mean, I would never
In
like
the
think
day.
of calling you at like 5:20 on a weekday morning. While you're sleeping.
I'm afraid.
40 minutes before your show. I would hate to be that
Boy,
asshole.
if you woke me up at 5:20, I'd be so pissed.
All right, Matty. I appreciate it. We're done. Anything else? You gave me.
Sure, we can do this off the air.
That's
I
true.
just feel like it's like how like sometimes you see like a little dog on the side of the road and you want to like help him up.
Well, that's not a very nice way to put it. I mean, I'm a successful adult man with children. I'm doing okay. I'm not some.
No. Okay, you are a person who does what I do for a living and is having difficulty with it.
That's true.
And I could help you with that. We
But
could
what
turn
I-
the mics off.
But never. What I do is different than what you do in a lot of ways.
Well, no,
though.
you're not the lead player, but you're you're on the morning
Right.
show.
But it's
And-
also,
and you obviously have some kind of
and our show is built on fighting.
fatherly sexual tension with John and Jerry that we could look into.
Again, I would
depth.
not say, if you fool around with a guy once and all of a sudden there's sexual tension. I don't think that's true.
It's that old joke.
That's
I build bridges. You know that old joke?
no, is it?
It's the oldest joke in the world. The guy says, I've built buildings, huge buildings. When I walk down the street, did they say, there goes Murray the building builder? No. I've built bridges. When I walk down the street, do people say, there goes Murray the bridge builder? No. But suck one cock.
You I don't think you can tell that joke tomorrow morning.
No,
at
it's just
8:30.
for you.
Thank you.
No, that joke is just for you. The joke, by the way, is about as old
old
as
as-
you are. Yeah, easily. Maybe older.
I appreciate it, Matty. Thank you.
My pleasure, Kirk. Thank you.
I really enjoyed this one. This one with Matt Siegel was great. I think the rest will be good, and the ones before were good as well. You want to hear these, you can go to iTunes, Stitcher, WEI.com. You go to the mobile app. And when you go to iTunes, wherever you go, leave a rating, leave a good review. That's going to help me. It's going to help the podcast. It'll make it easier for me. That's what you want to do, right? Go and leave a review, leave a rating. That will help.